Hi guys.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back. Hope you're having a wonderful day.
Yes.
So
I'll tell you, all the angles are pretty perfect today.
we do that.
Took our
We
time.
get better, y'all. Like y'all would be so proud of us. If y'all only knew, like we're recording, I feel like give us a clap. Seriously, we're recording off like 4 or 5 different devices every time. So
Yeah.
sometimes if you hear us at the end struggling, be patient with us.
And we don't want to really edit too much because we want everything to be authentic, organically flowing,
As it does.
Okay. About to knock the table over. I'm trying to scoot over some. My bad. Okay.
Of course, you want to jump into praise. I'll bow your heads, close your eyes, feel free. Father God, in the name of Jesus, I come to you as humble as I know how, Lord God, just to say thank you, Lord God. Thank you for another day, Lord God. Thank you for peace of mind, Lord God. Thank you for understanding and discernment, Father God. I pray that you give that to everyone, Lord God. I pray that you continue to send down blessings, Lord God. I pray that you continue to send down your healing powers, Lord God. I pray that you continue to just use us as your vessels, Lord God. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. So today the topic is the difference between having a child and raising a child. Because I feel like it's a big difference. Like
it is. It's a huge difference.
Yeah. Like for one, you know how some people like to blame the teachers for everything. Mm-hmm. I feel like teaching starts at home. Like you have to, pour into your children, just like how you allow them to play games or play with toys. You have to make sure they know their ABCs, that they know their days of the week, that they know their months of the year, all types of stuff, that they know how to tie their shoes. You literally have to be your child's first teacher. So you can't be like, oh no, that's not a good teacher. She ain't teaching my child anything. What are you teaching your child?
Exactly.
What have you taught your child? I feel like the school, it should just be like a refresher because, oh yeah, me and my mommy did this at home. Mm-hmm. Or once they get old, like especially when they're younger, once they get older, you don't know the curriculum. So, but you still need to be making sure they're reading, that you checking their homework still, like all types of stuff. Don't just be having these kids out here raising themselves now or sending them to the next person and letting it be somebody else's job. I know grandmas, aunties, it's okay to have help because, like we said, it takes a village.
Yeah.
But you need to be that first teacher, that first parent, that first guardian that they know. My mama got me. Seriously, like my mama and my daddy got me regardless of, who's not in our village. But don't just be putting the blame on other folks. Like you have to take some accountability when it comes to your child education, their well-being, all of that. Like,
yeah, it's very important, especially like in today's time with social media being so broad and big and everyone has access to it, But like to piggyback on what Aisha was saying, you really, really have to raise your children. Like people think just because I gave birth to this child that I did my job. Mm-hmm. You're here. No, it takes more than just pushing that baby out, And even those who don't actually have children of their own, like it's a lot of people that have taken on other people's kids, became godparents, and they play a role and they play a part in those children's lives. So it's very, very important to really guide the children because like the word says, if you spell the word, you spoil the child. And in reality, you train up a child in the way that they should go, So you can't give them too much, but then at the same time, you have to teach them everything, regardless of what you think is not like important. Everything is important. Mm-hmm. Everything.
And it's not just about materialistic things. No. Oh, my baby got the sign there. Oh, they got these. Can they spell their name? Do they know their address? Do they know their birthday? Like, you have to make sure you're not just taking care of your children materialistically, like just because, oh, my baby stay fresh, here stay done, here stay cut. You have to make sure your child is growing in the right directions. Like, you don't want them to just be thinking, oh, but I got the nicest pair of shoes out, so I'm better than the next person, or my mom take care of me, she makes sure I got all the latest. Like, that's not what it's all about.
Facts. And that's another thing, because unfortunately, a lot of people, especially this day and time, think that as long as they give their children the material things or the money or whatever, that's sufficient. But in reality, children, they don't care as much about that as you think they do.
Seriously.
In reality, that's a learned behavior. You teach them to care about those things. But when you are a parent and you are in that child's life, and you're productive and proactive and spending time with them, that is the key. Spending time. Time is the key, because it doesn't take money to go to the park for a walk. It doesn't take money to sit down and have that conversation with your child about how was your day. You know, things like that. All of that plays a major part in a child's life. So that's the biggest difference, I think.
Yeah.
With versus having a child and raising a child, because people can have children, you know, but the whole concept of having a child is time. You have to spend time. You have to put in that level of work, because you going to work to make the money. That's cool. Simply because the child has to have shelter, the child has to have the necessities in order to be productive. Although your time is vital. Your time is the most important thing that a child could ever need.
See, and you'll learn so much from your child and about your child just by spending that necessary time with them, you know, getting the information. Because when I say I be on the phone with my little cousins, they be making me TikToks, maybe making me flyers, whatever. They help me with some of my reels. They are real technical savvy these days. Like, they know so much. And I showed one of my cousins, I showed her dad, and she made that. And I'm like, yes, like, these kids know and can do more than what y'all think they know and can do. Like, seriously.
Yeah, that is true.
So you just sit down and put that time in, asking, like, you know, what they want to do, just to start building up the rapport. Like, you know, I know you like this, because time goes by quick. Like,
it really does.
So before you know it, high school gonna be over. They're gonna be going to college. You probably won't even know what your child want to do, because y'all ain't sit down and had those conversations. And that's seriously. Like, you know, you can have fun. I'm not saying, oh, don't have fun, don't buy your child nice stuff. I'm just saying that's not what it's all about. Like, it's not, oh, I need to make sure my child got the biggest birthday party, or no, take them on the trip. Let them explore the world.
Let them see different things.
Yeah.
Different ways of living.
Yeah,
you know?
seriously.
And in a lot of cases, that those experiences can cause a child to be more grateful, you know, especially when they go over to other countries and they see how they're living over there, you know, and a lot of countries that you travel to, they're not living like we do in America.
Seriously.
You know? And a lot of times the kids are wearing like rundown shoes.
But they just be happy and dancing and grateful for everything that they have. So for a fact, I say, you know, give them that experience. They don't have to be somewhere far, you know, just to be out of the state that you're living in, just see different scenery, and, you know, because every state has their own, seriously, every state has their own little swag, different places to go to, different food to try. So, you know, going just to the next state over, 2 states over, you know, just so they can get that experience and have those memories. Like, create memories that your child will enjoy instead of memories that they try to suppress. Like, you know, you want your child's childhood to be better than yours, but you also want to teach them the things that you weren't taught as a child. You want them to know the things that you didn't know when you were their age. You want them to be better than you. And, you know, so that is just a little side note, you know, just think about what you didn't get, or what you weren't taught when you were younger, and
what you wish somebody else had stepped in and taught you and did for you, and the time that you wish that they
put in.
spent with
Yeah,
you,
seriously.
And don't get caught up in the concept that, oh, I'm good, I'm okay, so my child or that child will be okay even if I'm not present, because everybody takes things differently. Just because you may have been okay doesn't mean that the child will be okay. And that's something that people need to take heed to.
No, seriously. Because it's so often that I just be, oh, I gotta work, I can't, I miss my baby's game, I miss this. That's the things that they gonna remember more than, oh, my mama got me some Gucci shoes, oh, my mama got me this North Face jacket, oh, I got this. They're not gonna remember those things in 5 years. I mean, and then even if they do, they're gonna be like, my mama wasn't around, but I stayed late. Like, and what? That doesn't balance out.
And when they get mad, once they get a certain age, they're gonna put that back in your face, and you're not gonna like it.
Facts. You're not.
And
the reality is, I got him everything.
But the reality is, like, yeah, you may have bought this, but where were you?
Yes, facts.
When I needed somebody to talk to, where were you?
Facts.
When I needed someone to show me what love is, where were you? Material aspects does not show love, like, realistically. And a lot of people just don't fully understand that, but that is the truth. Material things does not show love. Love is shown by individuals according to the time, according to the things you do together, the memories that you form together. That's the way you show love. It's not buying Gucci shoes, Prada, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
temporary.
Love. Like, tell me you got the money to pay for it.
No, fast, and that's it.
Like, and that's why you could spend time with me, because you was out there trying to get to the bag.
Listen. Spend some time with your children.
Please do.
And if they're telling you they ain't just want you to stay home, or you picking up extra hours at work and they just want to be with you for a day, just take that day. Take your day off. Enjoy it with your children. Get to learn something new about them. Do something that they like. It's a movie on Netflix called Yes Day. I love it. I really love it because the parents really took the time out to say, okay, what do you guys want to do today? And the parents weren't allowed to say no. And so they basically did everything that the kids wanted to do. And I know this one person online, she tried it out, and she was like, her kids asked for simple things like, can we go to the pool? Can we have pizza for breakfast? It was like little silly stuff. So it's just like, you'll be surprised about what your children even ask for. Get them a little limit, set some boundaries. But I encourage everybody, give your child that Yes Day.
So you basically said what I was about to say. Even if they don't say anything to you, ask them. Ask them, like, what would you like to do?
What would you like to do?
I took the day off, or I took the weekend off just to focus on what you want to do. And you'll be very surprised to learn that your child changes. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't realize that. Like, the things that your child may have done at the age of 10, they're not into at 11. And yes, it has
no fact. No fact.
Like, I'm gonna give my story because I really don't care. Okay, I'm an elephant, so I'm gonna say it. So, personally speaking, I'm a divorcee, and we've been divorced officially 6 years as of August 8th. Yeah, AA. How about that? Portergate. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. So my divorce was finalized in 2016. So it's been 6 years since I've been divorced. And at the time, my youngest daughter was 12 years old, I believe. She's 18 now. Okay, so I'm gonna say she was 12 during this time. And the reality of that is the way that my daughter was at the age of 12, 13, 14, of course, she is totally different at the age of 18. And to be truthful, her dad doesn't know her, He really, even though he may have talked to her periodically, and that is time when you're having a conversation, but it's different when you're in that child's presence.
Seriously.
You can sense different energy, different vibes, as
Tell
they say,
vibe.
Exactly, vibing with your child. So
seriously.
A lot of times he would make mention of certain things, and she'd be like, oh yeah, okay. But she never said, I'm not into that anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So really, instead of telling them what you think you know, ask them. You know, and that's the thing that he didn't do. He didn't ask like, well, what you into? Like for Christmas at 16 Christmas, him and his girlfriend bought my daughter some makeup. I guess most young ladies are into makeup at the age of 16, but my child is totally different. She don't care nothing about makeup even now at 18. She don't even wear makeup. So when they bought her the makeup, she looking like, what is this for?
No,
I don't wear this.
Who is this for?
Like, this must not be, this must be my sister.
I was gonna say,
her
like,
sister is the one that's into makeup.
And
she don't wear it, but she's a makeup artist herself, but she doesn't wear makeup. But that's my whole point. Like, thinking buying her the latest name of the makeup brand is supposed to be supposed to compensate, but it didn't because she's not into makeup. So yes, I just want to say, talk to your kids, ask them questions. Don't tell them what you think about them as individuals. Ask them questions. Talk to them. Have that conversation. You know, don't assume anything. If you want to know something, ask. Ask. You know, that's part of raising your child, being in their life, asking them questions, and making sure that they know that you are there, you know, that you're present. Don't just say it, show it. You know, calling, yeah, that's good, but showing up is even better.
Even better.
You know?
Even better. And if you have like more than one child, I know a lot of times, you know, my dad would just take me out, and then sometimes it'll just be him and my brother, and my mom did the same. So make sure you're getting that one-on-one with your child. Like, although you have, with each one, like, give them that time just to let them know, like, listen, no matter what, no matter who, you know, we still got this bond. You still can come to me, you know, like, take that time to just let them know that they're special, because every child is special. Just help them to better understand. Like, you know, wow, because my dad still takes me on dates. Like, I'm so honored. Like, I just be like, oh, Dad, you want to take me on a date? So, like, literally, just let your child know that they're special. You know, you can definitely spend time all together, but I feel like that one-on-one, it helps you to get more intimate with your child. Just, you know, just to know, like, okay, like you said, what is it that you're into now? What is it that you like to do now? You'll really get a better understanding of where your child is mentally, what they want to do in the future. You know, if they're dealing with something, like you said, you bobbing with your child, you can sense that. So it's like sometimes I don't even have to tell my mom anything. She just be like, "You cool? You good now?" Because she know when my vibe is off. Like, so once you get that binding going, that vibing going with your child, you're not gonna have to ask. And another thing I hate when parents say, "Do it because I said so." Don't tell your child that, because he got like, I'm not saying they need an explanation for everything, but children, it's better if you explain things to them, because then you're gonna have them thinking like, dang, I can't ask her nothing. She don't never want to tell me what's going on. But I say, no, it's okay to explain to your children. Don't be thinking, oh, you a child, whatever I say, just go. Like, don't do that.
I totally agree with you on that. You know, as a parent myself, and having basically 2 adult children now, that's the one thing that I tried not to do, because that was the main thing my mom used to always do.
Yeah.
Because I said so. So, yeah, my children are a bit more vocal, you know, because I allow them to be, because I want to hear what they have to say. And because of that is the reason why they're comfortable with talking to me about everything, regardless of what it is. They're comfortable with talking to me about it. Now, I will say, if they ask, well, why I can't do that? Even if it is a because I said so, you don't have to say because I said so.
Right. Seriously.
Because I think that's best for you.
Yeah, fact.
It's a way to say everything.
Fact.
You know, you can reword it. You know what I'm saying? I feel that that's best for you. And right now, I understand that you may think that you know what's best for you, but like, this is the consequences of it. If you do it your way, I understand that parents may feel like I shouldn't have to explain nothing to my child, but in reality, you have to explain everything to your child. And that's just being real. You really have to explain everything to your child simply because if you don't, they're going to test it just to see what the outcome is going to be. And like my oldest daughter, even if you do explain everything to your child, they still test to see what the outcome is going to be. And they do it anyway. And it turns out to be what you said it was. They understand and they know. So they'll learn to take your opinion about that thing or your perception about that thing to heart, to where they'll think twice about doing it versus doing it because they want to do it. My child, she's a little bit for that, but she's learning, because now she comes to me, and when she asks and I give my opinion about that thing, then she actually thinks about it. She don't just go ahead and do the opposite of what I said. She actually thinks about it. And I'm like, now what do you think that you should do? Now, what do you think your outcome is going to be? Like, honestly, parents, we have to ask those questions.
Seriously.
That's part of raising your child. Like you said, you cannot tell your child because I said so. Okay, well, let's see why you said so.
Right.
I'm going to find out why you said so. Because I feel like you're trying to keep me from having fun or experiencing something that's good for me. But in reality, that because I said so, it is really preventing you from
protecting
going through something that I know is not going to be beneficial for you. So I totally agree with you on that. Like, that's part of raising your child. Answer those questions. Answer them. I don't care what it is.
I don't care if you're frustrated. And that's another thing. Don't take your personal issues out on your child. I don't care if you're going through something with your boyfriend, your baby daddy made you mad, he ain't buy the shoes. Don't take that out on the babies. Okay?
Please don't.
I see that so often where I know my mom used to do it. Like, she'll be going through something in her personal life or something at work, and she'll come home and give everybody attitude. And I'm just like, Miss, we didn't do it. We didn't do anything to you. So be mindful about that. When you're going through, take that moment, go sit in the bathroom, tell the kids, I need to break real fast, let mommy recuperate, regroup, get my thoughts together. But don't take that anger out on your kids. Like, that's not fair to them.
It really is.
They don't deserve it. They might just be trying to ask you a simple question, but because you're so agitated, you get out of my face, not right now. Don't do that. That's not helping them to grow in the right direction. That's not teaching them love. That's not teaching them, wow. Like that, I feel like that's teaching them like, what's the word that I can use?
It's dealing with their emotions.
Yeah, no facts.
It teaches them to shut down.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's teaching them, to shut down and suppress those things. Like, dang, I can't talk to my mom about this though, because she having a bad day. I gotta just push it down and be there for her.
Yeah, that's suppressing it. And that's not healthy at all. That's not good.
It's not, especially when they become adults and then they thinking back like, well, my mom shut me down so much, like that. I ain't had no choice but to just hold it in and suppress these emotions. And
I'm sorry, I just thought about something when you said that. It made me think about men. Because like when you were to think about it, especially in the Black community,
don't cry.
Most children, are raised by mom. And a lot of times dad is not around. So when you think about it, that explains the reason why when a man doesn't really express himself to his woman and he just stopped talking, you're right. You're right. I messed up. I'm no good. You're right. And really, in reality, they're really responding to you in a manner that their mother may have responded to them. Shut up.
A lot of men have mommy issues.
You better be quiet.
Yeah. I need something to cry for.
Exactly. Like,
seriously.
That's
exactly why.
If you have experienced that, parents, please do go get therapy. Because that's not healthy. Okay? Please. It's necessary.
It's definitely necessary, and it definitely will allow you to thrive emotionally instead of suppressing all those feelings. You're like, wow, this is what it feels like to be vocal, to express my feelings, to really just open up and be vulnerable and honest about how I'm feeling and what I'm going through. Like it makes a big difference. Like
not just in your relationship with
Mhm.
your wife or
Mhm.
husband or your companion,
Mhm.
but also with your children. You know,
Seriously.
because just because you experience whatever you experience doesn't mean that your child has to experience the same thing or be lacking of something.
Yeah.
You know, so it's always good for us as parents and godparents
Mhm.
to be emotionally stable in
Seriously.
order to raise our kids. Because if you're not emotionally stable, it's very difficult to raise your children. And our truth is very difficult, very, because anytime they're going through something, understand you're going through it too.
Yeah.
And if you are already going through something
Right.
or a lot of a thing, and they come to you with their smaller thing, that smaller thing can take you over the edge and cause you to blow up on them. And then they'll have them like, you know what, I'm not talking to you.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't
You don't
gonna talk about,
understand.
no, But then they'll go out there and they'll find somebody else in the streets to have that conversation with. And then that person is listening to them and advising them. And the advice that that person is giving may not necessarily be the right advice, you know?
Mhm.
And that's another reason why you need a village, so that your child will have someone they can go to, even when you're not available. But like I will say, that's part of raising kids.
Mhm.
You know, you have to put aside your personal feel about
Mhm.
the other parent
Mhm.
or work or whatever the situation is that's going on in your life, you know, because what you're raising is the future.
Facts.
You
Find
know,
that balance.
you have to find balance, because if you as a parent don't find the balance now and you raising the future, what the future gonna be?
Unbalanced.
Okay, so
Let's end it.
yeah,
Let's end the
let's work
cycle.
together to be greater. You know,
It's time. It's literally time to just be like, all right, something is not working. At some point, I know you're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah, I am sick and tired.
Seriously though, like it's like enough is enough. Like do things differently this go around.
Yes.
Like instead of doing things
There it is.
the same, navigate to
There it is.
elevate.
Change your mindset,
Change your life. Seriously.
Life changing.
Like
change the way you operate and think about a thing, because you don't have to do what you was raised to do,
mhm.
especially when the way that you was raised may not have been all the way correct. You know,
Mhm.
something like we said last week. Sometimes you have to unlearn what you learn.
Seriously.
You know?
In a lot of cases, because the way these generations is,
I'm about to say, because today's time,
yeah,
it's not like the 60s.
Yeah,
It's
no.
not like the 70s. And it's not even like the 90s and the 80s.
No, facts. It
like,
ain't like
it's
the 90s.
totally different. So the way you used to do things, you have to not do those things that way no more. This generation, this way of life, and the way that kids are today, elementary students are really doing the stuff that you find most middle school freshmen doing. You know, that's just being 100% real with y'all. Like, honestly, I have these conversations with my children. You know, I know what they're doing in elementary school and middle school.
You have to, and I know a lot
They
of
about
parents
grown
don't
by
be
the time they get in high school.
Nah, fact. When you become a teenager, I was just talking to somebody at work, and they were saying how, like, when you become a teenager, it seemed like it's a little rebellious, but sometimes it'd be like certain kids be like, well, I don't feel like that's right what you're doing or how you're teaching me. So if you feel like your kids are rebellious, maybe you need to kind of take a step back and say, okay, what am I doing as a parent to make my child feel this way or act this way, or go against the grain, as y'all would call it? Because sometimes y'all haven't been raised right, and so once that child gets to a certain age, they're able to say, like, okay, mommy, I don't know about that. Especially if they have that village and somebody else in that village is showing them or teaching them a different way, or just bringing something to their attention, just to do things a little bit differently. It's not like, I wouldn't really call it rebellious. I would just say, just sit down and see the differences, or why she's thinking the way she's thinking, or why he's thinking the way he's thinking, just get to know your child. Like you said, that 8-year-old not the same when she's 9. 10-year-old not the same when they're 11. It's going to constantly evolve and evolve and evolve,
and that's because they're constantly experiencing life. So each experience causes them to evolve into a different creature.
Fact.
Over and over and over.
And it might be something simple. They favorite color might even change over time. You buying all this pink stuff, and they might like orange now.
Like my baby girl. Okay, we started off with blue, pink, then purple, then she was earth tone. Now, as a college student, what's your favorite color? I don't know. I guess black.
No, seriously, that's where I was. Like, that's why I threw that in there, because I know as the years change, my favorite color would change. Like, I don't know, but I like
and
black
I think a lot of that deals with your energy too.
And all that.
Because she's at a place in her life, she don't want no negativity.
No fact.
And black, our city,
Listen.
Don't bring it my way. I'm not even with it. Okay, please don't.
I'm not.
I wanted to piggyback on something that you said earlier. I can't remember exactly what it was. But I will say that, when you was talking about your dad spending time with you, and he can still take you on dates. Like parents, mommy, daddy, please do that, because it's vital, simply because you're teaching and training your child of what to expect when it comes to a man or a woman. When they are lacking that, they don't know what is it that a man should do. So when that man, as a woman, when that man opens the door for her, she's not looking at him like, nigga, I'm not handicapped, excuse my language. But that's how she would look, and that's because daddy didn't do that, not just that, but even with mommy, take your son on dates,
It's okay for him to get spoiled.
Exactly. Show him how to open the door for you, And I'm just speaking of the very simple things, but you train up the way you want your child to be as an adult.
Seriously.
And in that training, you are the vital piece as a parent.
You have to be. You really have to.
Now, I also want to talk about back to the other one. Okay, I'm going back to where Aisha left off, was the children. Now, children can be very manipulative too.
Yeah.
Right? So, if you know your child, and you know your child is good at manipulation,
and be honest,
you have to learn how to reverse that. You know what I'm saying? Because children these days, they're pretty smart. Okay, they are very smart. So, even if you have to start to Google manipulation and the things that children do to manipulate you, do it.
Stop letting them get away with little stuff like, they stole a piece of candy. You thought that was funny because that piece of candy is turned into something else bigger, and each time it's gonna get worse and worse. So nip that in the bud, like now, like even with the cussing. Oh, they said one cuss word, y'all laughing.
Oh, you laugh about it. What 2-3 years old?
That's not cute.
They repeat the words of the song that you're listening to. That's why I tell my daughter, don't play all of that with him. When he's around, like honestly, I prefer that she don't play music with a lot of cursing in it when the baby is around, or even look at TV with certain things on it, because you are training their child. Everything that they hear and see, feel, smell, even taste, that's an experience.
Seriously.
And parents, you have to understand and realize that is an experience. So if you're, granted, you as a mother or father, you can listen to whatever you want to listen to.
Put your headphones on.
Please. And put that child headphones on when they're listening to something, and make sure you listen to it first before you let them listen to it, okay? Because you don't want these little songs that you think, because they're talking, they're thinking like this.
No,
it's gonna be good, and it really ain't. They can say other stuff like we talked about last week. Go cut the stove on, stick your hand on the stove.
No facts, like making this sound fun.
Just because the change of the voice is different, still listen to it. Hear the words, because the words is what penetrates into the mental. And that in turn causes the child to act and react accordingly. So you really have to be mindful of that, parents. Please take heed to that. Okay.
Seriously, like put that time in. Like I said, go over their work. You know, if you see something new, because I know the curriculums are changing as the years pass. So
I heard that they don't do the remainders no more.
Girl, they do math so different. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it.
I heard.
I tried to help my little cousin one day, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna make this easier for you because this is the way I learned it. But then I felt like I was confusing her because I'm like, then y'all go to school and y'all being taught a different way. So I would say try to just stay on top and just.
But even in the different way that they're being
you can
taught,
still get the right answer.
You still can get the right answer, but they want them to do it the way that they teach it.
Yeah, no,
and I think that's crazy because if I can do something 3 different ways,
right,
and still get the right answer, what's the problem? But I understand, that's just a curriculum, and I feel like the curriculum is set up to keep people back.
No, facts.
I personally
why is it changing?
Why is it you have to only do it one way?
Even when I first went to college, they was like, "Oh, you might as well just forget everything you learned in school," and it was like a whole new curriculum. Like, so what are we doing this for? If we gonna get the guy, we didn't even use none of that stuff in the real world. I'm sorry, I have yet to use
honestly.
X + 2 + Y.
Honestly, there's a lot of stuff that you learned that you won't ever use.
Seriously.
In this lifetime.
And so make sure if you don't do nothing else, make sure they know them basics. Name, their age, birthday, days of the week, months of the year. They know how to count to a certain number. I feel like once they progress, the number should get higher and higher. So. Just make sure your kids are, up on their game. Even in the summertime, create them. If your schools didn't, create them a list of books to read. Give them some work to do just so they can stay sharp. Like I truly encourage things like that because I know when I was young and the summer came and then we went back to school, I was like, dang, I forgot this. I mean, they'll give you a refresher, but if the parents stay on top of that, the kid gonna stay on top of their game. So you want your kid to thrive and be on top of the line, like put in that work. Like seriously, you get out what you put in.
And just to piggyback on what you just said, realistically, parents, if you have recently decided to have a child between the ages of newborn to 18, 19 years old, or you haven't given birth just yet, but you are desiring to have a child, please understand that you will continue to be in a learning process for the next set of years, 18 to 19 years, okay? You will have to continue, truthfully, really beyond that point. But when it comes to the education, like learning what they're having to learn, you have to learn it too, because you have to learn the way that they do things.
Seriously.
So you have to learn it too. So it's not just learning your child, but learning what they have to learn, so that when you are teaching them, you are teaching them correctly. So that is really something to be very cognitive of. I think that found you that. That is something to be cognitive of, like something to really give thought to.
Even if they're in like extra curriculum. I know a lot of parents like learn the kids dancing so they can practice at home, just so their kids can be, listen, we ready for next week. So I know dads with the football, they out there on the field, putting in that time with their child. Like, just put in that time.
You really have to. So you're continuously in a learning process. You have children, you're constantly learning. Like, yes, my youngest daughter just went off to college. Today was her first day of school at Georgia State University. Go Panthers. Anyway. So, like, yes, a lot of stuff that she's learning, I have the slightest clue, I'm sure. But I have no problem with, let me read this.
Right. Trying to help you out.
I think it may mean so what you think it means? And that's bonding time, in all honesty, So what, like, you're learning in the process of bonding with your child. That's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to put that out there.
Stop treating your kids like burdens. Oh, you going to your grandma? Oh, you going to this?
Oh yeah, send them more down.
Don't do that.
I understand that every parent needs that me time. You know, you
don't need too much of it, man.
You have to show yourself love and care. You know, you have to have those special care days and things of that nature. But that shouldn't be every day of the week.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, no. that should be really, as a parent, once your kids go to bed, after you have seen about them, fed them, went over homework, had a conversation with them, yes, talk to your child every night. Every single night, because every day they are experiencing something. And sometimes they're not comfortable with telling mom or dad what happened today because they may think that mom or dad is going to go off. So you have to learn how to show your child a calm being of yourself. Because exactly, you don't want them to suppress, like you said earlier, suppress what they're feeling and not express themselves simply because my mom gonna go off or my dad gonna go there and go off on the teacher, you know, or whatever the case may be. So you have to put that woosah, meditate, do some yoga, breathing exercises. Like a lot of people don't realize how vital breathing is. You know, inhaling, exhaling, and breathing properly. It really takes a load off you.
Seriously, like when I'm overwhelmed and I just take that time, like it calms me down so much, like in ways that I've never imagined. Like seriously, and that meditation with that meditation music, listen, it can work some wonders. And y'all might think, oh, just Caucasian people do that, or you know, hippies do that.
It does not have no color, no ethnic, no religion.
No.
Okay?
It's peace of mind. That's what it is. And it will definitely give you that patience that you need with your children, that balance so you can spend that time with your children. Everything is you being a better person or a better parent is going to help your child. So let's just be mindful of that.
Even to teach them how to breathe properly. That helps too, because I know, like when my baby girl was in high school, there were some things that she experienced, and I had to teach her how to breathe properly, you know, because she started to have anxiety when certain things would take place. And I'm like, inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, inhale through your, you know, I literally count it, hold it.
Seriously.
Like I really had to teach her how to do that. And in that, she learned to do yoga. You know, she started researching more so on her own because she realized how much it really helped her. Seriously. And now, like, she's a different person. Like, she's not with the drama no more. She's just like, you know what? I'm good.
On to bigger and better things.
Exactly.
Like she said, I experienced that at a young age, and I'm growing now, so I know what I did as a child. I'm not doing that now. So that's good. Like, and I like how you ask them questions like, well, what did you learn from that experience? Like, ask your children that. Like, you know, if they do something, but before you beat them, I'm not saying don't beat them, but, you know, I would prefer you just to have the conversation. But really ask them, like, where was your mind at? What did you learn from that experience? Well, you know, why did you do that? You know, ask them questions like that just to see where they at. Like, don't
mentally.
Yeah, don't just be so ready to, I'm whoop your butt. I'm gonna beat your ass.
Because sometimes kids will do things just to get your attention.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So to ask, yeah, you definitely should ask because you don't want your child out here acting out because they feel like you're not paying them any attention. That's the reason why if you talk to your child every night before they go to bed, ask them how was their day. Ask them, did you learn anything today? Did you have an experience today that wasn't normal? You know, like even to go through what normal and abnormal is in your opinion, and ask them what they feel normal and abnormal is, or what is not normal to them. Like really, because some adults can be manipulative and they can try to trick your child. You know what I'm saying? So have these conversations with them. You know, like you really have to. That's part of raising your children and not just having them.
facts. And don't instill fear into your child. That's something I want to stop doing. Oh, you better do that, or you better get that A, or you better pass that test, or you better do this, and I'm gonna do that, or I'm gonna do that. Like, don't instill that type of fear into your children, because that's really not going to be helpful to them. They're really not going to want to talk to you. They're really going to suppress so many things. Like, don't do that.
You know, the one thing that I would do with my children were grade school incentives. I will reward them. Like, some people say, I'm not going to reward you for doing something you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's not true. Yeah. Because when you do a greater job on your job, if you know you're finna get a raise.
No, fact.
You have to do the job in order to get paid. So, like I would tell my children, my job is to do hair and make money. Your job is to go to school and make good grades. So if you make the grade, then you can be rewarded. But if you don't make the grade, I'm not giving you nothing.
Yeah.
That means that you didn't fulfill your duty.
Yeah.
You didn't do your job.
Yeah.
So therefore, with that being said, you know, they experienced it. And they, like my baby girl said, and I keep talking about her because she's the one that listens. My baby girl would say, well, I figure if I can get whatever I want just for making good grades, why not make good grades?
Makes sense. It's
so
a
I'm
win-win situation.
To make a sacrifice. If you're willing to make a sacrifice, that means putting down that video game and staying at home studying and so forth, so on. Like you said, putting in the work to get the grade, to get the job done. Oh yeah, I won't even join something. You know what I'm saying?
Hey. And I like that idea because, you know, a lot of kids be feeling so entitled too because parents will give, but it's like, no, they only supposed to give the, you know, the next water, shelter, clothes. They ain't say name brand clothes. They ain't say fast food, you know.
Even the food.
Yeah.
They didn't say you couldn't eat bologna sandwiches, okay, every day.
Every day. But seriously, like, I agree with that. Reward your children, especially if they're doing a good job. Like,
like they want to go to the movies. Mom, I want to go to the movies this weekend. Oh, well, we need to see them grades this week. You see what I'm saying? You see how I did that? Mom, I want to go to the movies this weekend. Mom, I want to go skating this weekend. Oh, we need to see what these grades look like for the week.
Seriously.
So you get 5 days just for that one day.
No, seriously, like, because that'll help them better understand life. Like, you know, life ain't gonna be easy. Seriously, it's not. Seriously, like, teach them that lesson while they're young. Like, stuff doesn't come easy. Like, this is the cold world out here. Once they become adults and they see, oh my God, I gotta teach them now.
I got the word.
Right, so that's why I love people that do chores and still give allowance and stuff like that, because I feel like that helps children to understand.
Yeah,
I had to work.
I ain't gonna tell you no story. I had to give no allowance for chores. I didn't do that.
I mean, I didn't get it. I'm just saying I like the idea of it.
Of course, you talk about the idea, but the reason why I didn't do that, I only did it for the grades when you go to school, is because this is where you lay your head.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing chores, you're gonna automatically do chores too. That's automatic. Like, you're not getting paid for no chores. You better clean that room up. And I mean it. Otherwise, everything I
now that ain't the chore. Then your room, that you'll be sleeping on the floor.
I pull everything out. In fact, you don't even have no cover to cover yourself up.
Bare floor.
It's 6 o'clock.
Don't clean the tub out. You don't need no soap because you don't bathe anyway. I mean, you bathe, but you don't clean the tub out. So what? You know what? They don't to keep this tub clean. You can't take a bath. Give me some. I was just playing. I'm being silly right now. I'm just playing. I don't do that. I didn't do that. I'm just saying. Just an example, but not an example that I would want parents to take heed to. But you can.
Just a little jokey joke.
You can't threaten them with, oh, well, you don't want to take no bath. You can't clean the tub. Oh, if I gotta go in there and clean it, you can't use it.
You can't use it.
Okay, I'm getting silly now. You know how I do. Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm finished too. Honestly, like, listen, just put that time in. don't instill no fear in them. Let them, you're the first teacher.
Mm-hmm.
You're the guardian.
You're the keeper.
Yeah, all of that, like protector, the provider. You're all of that. So let your children be comfortable with, going to you before going to anybody else in the village. Like, of course, it's cool to have that village. It's a plus to have that village, but let your children know that I got you no matter what, and I'm going to be there to make sure you get to where you want to be in life. No, no matter what it is, we can do it together. Like, be that backbone for your child. Like, teach them what you didn't know. Help them to get
and what you wish you had known.
Yeah.
At their age, like
Seriously.
whatever it is that you wish you knew at their age, teach them. Like,
seriously,
I taught both of my children about credit.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, when you get a certain age, you
Mm-hmm.
get out there on your own, you tend to do what you want to do. That's the oldest. But back to the youngest, she actually takes heed to what I've said to her about credit. She makes sure that she pays her credit card bills on time that I know of. I haven't heard of anything that, and like I told her, if you don't have the money to make the minimum payment, I'll make the minimum payment for you, because your credit is very important. So I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. So that's why I had to teach them that. Seriously. And if I had known back then what I know now, I felt like I would be in a better situation when it came to my credit. I'm fairly decent right now, but like, I would have loved to have been in a great standing at 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. Because by the time she graduated from college, the housing market pricing may have went down, and baby girl can go ahead and go buy your little condo.
Nah, fast. Little something like teach them those things, like investing in stocks is like a big thing right now. Kids are doing it. Yeah, they're investing into NFTs and stocks and bonds and Roth IRAs. Like, teach your kids these things, because that's why the clear people. That's why their children are thriving 10 times better than the Black community, because at 16 they're making sure that they have those credit cards. They're not even claiming them
to your credit card.
Yeah, they're not even claiming them on their taxes and stuff anymore. I forgot what age it is. I don't know, but I know at some age that they stop claiming their children so that they can. I gotta get it right. I gotta think about it. It's something that they do, but they do things so differently than us, and that's why they have that advantage. But they were taught way more than we were about credit. They was the ones getting the house loans and all of those things. So now the houses that they brought in the 1960s are probably they're worth so much more money, so they can leave this generational wealth. They can leave behind the financial freedom for their great grands, because these are some of the things that they did. So let's start to do some of those things. Like, we're already a little behind. It's time that we catch up and that we, thrive as a whole. Okay?
Yeah, because in reality, being behind is a choice that you made. Yeah. The opportunity, even though it may be a little bit harder for color, but the opportunities are still there. Even if you have to get on the phone and talk like this, how are you? Switch it. Sometimes you just have to switch up your voice and sound in your voice. Put other or you don't want to disclose what color you are on the application, and that's just for those purposes in order to excel financially in this world.
Right. Right, really can't say America like this whole world.
Yeah.
So that about sums up this segment. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. I think our Instagram did not save, so.
Oh, snap.
So.
Okay, so I guess we'll have to take the video and upload it
on Facebook and Instagram.
That's good. Okay, so well, until next week. Thank you all for tuning in, and please make sure you subscribe, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to YouTube, and you can also follow us on Facebook. Elephants in the Room 2022 on Facebook.
Aisha and Quintori.
Oh, my bad. You gotta cut it. It's Aisha Quintori.
Yeah.